Hey everybody, it's Ed. The future is now, and the future just sold my stocks off for Tesla. What happened? Well, let's find out. I mean, what caused this? First of all, I had a stop loss set at 330. Okay, and I did this and I set stops on purpose on stocks so I'm not emotional about things. So the math of it automatically triggers it when it hits a certain number, and it will sell or buy or do whatever I want it to do without having emotion to it and say, oh no, wait a minute, no, but it might, maybe I should wait until this. No, okay? It automatically does things for you so you're less emotional about it. And I've talked about that before. Anyway, we bought in here, selling out here when it crossed the moving average. And now I want to talk about the three indicators that really caused me to do this, to set that stop loss in the first place. First one, it's above the channel. So this is the channel going up, and it's above here. So once again, it went exponential. So it's up high. So once again, I mean, everybody, buy low, sell high. I mean, that's really the reality of things. So 90 shares here and 90 shares selling here. If it drops down into the 300, 280, 260 possible range, we can buy more shares in at this level. So that means 90 shares become 105, 110, potentially 115 shares. So that's what I was talking about in my other video again, about how you turn 90 shares into 200 shares by playing the market. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be correct here. They could shoot up, they could announce some crazy news, and they could launch the Model Y in China instantly, or the Shanghai factory, being open quicker. I mean, all kinds of things can drive it up. But the point is, it broke this. It's above the trend line. And to me, their sales of Model 3 in October, so the company's performance was a bit dicey to me. Nobody was really talking about this, but I'm going to mention this. Okay, their Model 3 sales were down in October. Now, why could that be? Well, when they had this monster Cybertruck release, people that were thinking about buying the Model 3 might want to wait to see if maybe they want the Cybertruck, potentially. So that slowed the sales down, I'm pretty sure, just on its own. Now, November, which is pretty much the same scenario, I expect to see the same type of numbers. And then, so December, they're going to only have one more month to catch back up on it. I mean, I would project them hitting maybe 330 sales, 330 in production instead of the 360 number that they were trying to hit. So I think that, to me, is going to make sure that they get in a lower range, a more valued range. So once again, I'm not predicting that into the way that, I mean, if it bounces above the moving average again, I'm going to be right back in, and you'll see it. I'll let you know. But I'm letting you know that right now, we basically made that $80 or $90 a share. We're trying to buy back 105, 110, 120 more shares down lower. So that's how I personally am playing this. I'm not recommending you do anything or not do anything. I'm just showing you what I do and why I do it, and based on the analytics of it. Okay, I can be unemotional and just that's why I set the stop loss. Okay, at 330, I was like, okay, if it cracks at 330, it's probably gonna kick down. And it did. Right when it hit the 330, there was a lot of people that put stops on it, because I saw it kind of take a tank that day for, down to, I think it was like 328 at the time, so it was down a couple more dollars, but it's bounced back since, and now it's at about 331, I think was the close. So anyway, that's how giving you the heads up on that. So, but I did want to get in the details of the Cybertruck because there is so much to talk about. So let's talk about the Cybertruck. Okay, first of all, the design. Everybody's got a problem with the design. The first time I saw it, I was like just as freaked out as anybody. I wasn't freaked out because, oh my gosh, the analysts were going to hate it. I knew the analysts would hate this. Okay, that really wasn't the issue. Okay, it was more the fact that it takes time for your mind to change and think about something in a different way. It's the mental issue of that. We're not used to seeing that. If there was millions of those out there, that would just look boring like any other car. But since it's not, it's very hard to see that and aesthetically, okay? So that's what everybody really had a problem. But now it's growing on me. And honestly, if you just take away the boxy little triangle parts in the back, I think it looks perfectly like a truck. I mean, you can look at different rendering modifications that people have done on the internet, and you'll see that. And basically, if you take these wings off or paint them or put your logo on them or whatever, if you get rid of that, it looks like an amazing truck. That's really all they have to do. I mean, just paint it, design it, do something different, leave it there, but do a design on it. So anyway, let's get back to the details of it. Okay, let me start it from the beginning. Okay, well, first of all, the 301 stainless, everybody talks about. Okay, everyone's like, thinks you can automatically just curve everything perfectly. The reason that truck, I should say, is shaped the way it is because you can't bend that material. Okay, so it's not stampable, which is good for production. They don't have to worry about stamping it, and now they're painting it. So production-wise, this is why it's $39,000. That's crazy. But anyway, so that's the biggest issue. They are dealing with a new material because cars aren't designed with that material. So that's kind of the design that has to be kind of come out of that material. But the front is great, super high-tech looking light bars. So take a look at the light bar in the front. You can see it. I mean, it's super high-tech, super futuristic. I think this angle looks great, and obviously this is why that's the Tesla website's homepage issue. That truck looks great from there. Okay, it shows that slope of the windshield. It shows that light bar is really nice. Okay, now when it comes to the sides, okay, oh, another thing about the light bar, sorry, is that it's the wiring. They will always want to reduce the wiring in their vehicles because it's less cost. That's the biggest one. Less cost, less that can go wrong, less they have to deal with. They have more space as well. So lowering the wiring, they were talking about that with Model Y, but I think they've learned how to reduce the wiring, and the light bars are probably a good way to reduce the amount of cords and wires that are inside the vehicle itself. Anyway, well, let's get to the sides, because, I mean, the side angle, which you saw the whole time during the unveil, that was the problem. They just left it on the side. That car should have been spinning around on the rotating disc that they had the Model X on. So you can see all the angles. That doesn't, look, I mean, to me, it looks all right. Like I said, if you take that off, it looks pretty amazing. But, this is one of the things that has to grow on you. It's got the recessed door handles, doesn't have mirrors, windshield wipers, all the stuff that you're used to seeing to make something look like a car. The problem is when this pulled up, I was like, that's not a truck. And the first thing I said, it's not even a truck. I'm like, where's the bed? Well, because the bed is visibly hidden. You don't see it. So anyway, let's get back to it. So that's the side issue. Now the back is kind of boxy, no badging, and has a rear, what do you call it? It's just got a kind of a funny look. That was the thing that I had the worst problem with it. It's down here. Yeah, right here. Let's scan through it. So that's the truck bed. The truck bed looks great. It actually looks better when the actual tailgate's down. Now, to me, that looks too boxy. Okay, when it's all sealed up and everything, it looks a little boxy for me. But that's just an aesthetic thing. Okay, so anyway, let's go back. So now we talked about the front. We talked about the sides. And the top, well, they have the see-through glass on the top that you just saw in the last picture with the transparent metal glass. I put TMG. I think it's called transparent metal glass. And what that does, and they have that on all their cars, where it gives you the feeling that it's bigger. So the space, because you're not cramped in as far as visibly, it actually gives you that feeling of more space, which is good for all of their cars. It makes them feel more spacious and whatnot. Anyway, okay, so let's go back. So that takes care of the top of the car. The bottom, obviously, you don't see here. But what you also don't see is there's no axle that goes down the middle of the vehicle. Okay, and what this does, and first of all, all of those parts aren't under this vehicle. So you don't have the exhaust tubes, you don't have a catalytic converter, you don't have a muffler, you don't have that bar going down the middle. You know, when you get in most cars, they have this hump on the front and the rear. You don't have that with electric vehicles. Any electric vehicle, I'm pretty sure they just don't have that. They don't need that there. That's designed differently for electric as for not. So it gives you all that extra space and everything on this. So let's get to the external features. Okay, the 301 stainless steel, I mean, that's the biggest one. And I think the main reason they went this way, it gives you the most strength for the cost. Okay, $39,000, I was like stunned. I was figuring that truck was like 69. I'm like, okay, that's out. I'm not gonna do 69,000 for something that radical or whatever, right now. And then when they posted at 39, I was like, holy cow. And my wife was like, that's awesome. I'm going to get that one instead of the Model 3. Hence, cannibalizing a little bit, personally, the Model 3, anecdotally, I guess, that basically we're cannibalizing a little bit of a Model 3 that we're going to buy next year. Now she's going to get the truck. You know, obviously the truck's not going to come for a couple more years, but we're within the first 50,000 to probably 100,000 orders. So, and she got the full self-driving, which was a must on that car, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the best thing is it's bulletproof. Okay, a 9mm bullet basically shatters. Okay, and it won't rust. Okay, you see a lot of rusted trucks out there and beat up trucks. This truck just won't rust. That material won't rust. So that is a great feature for that. The exoskeleton, which means it's not body on frame anymore. Okay, it's just the exoskeleton, which is super, super strong and rigid. Okay, that's a different design, a different type of manufacturing, and it probably lowers the cost of the manufacturing line. Here, go show a picture. Let's go for the exoskeleton, just to show you basically what the vehicle. It's up higher. It's up on the top here. Right here, you can see the exoskeleton right here. This is it. This is the base thing. Here's your charging area right here. And I mean, this is just, that's it. It's super, super solid because it's not, you know, based on the traditional methods of making a vehicle. Okay, so anyway, let's go back. And then we'll go back to the transparent magnetic glass, which we talked about before. It's on the windows, the windshield, the roof. Once again, if they're using the same material, the more material you use or that you can purchase, the cheaper you can get it. So why use it just on one little area of the car and then use another material on this part and another material? Tesla's smart about this. They use the same material as much as possible to reduce the costs. So this is another reason of driving down the cost, I think. The tires and wheels, I mean, I like the tires and wheels. I think they look rugged. I mean, it looks like an off-road truck. You know, so that's the thing. And the wheel covers look good. And that's mainly to protection from the brake damage, wheel damage, okay? So it may not be to everybody's liking on that one, but it's for protection of the vehicle again, which is like a big part of this vehicle. Anyway, the battery protection, this is my question, okay? People are like, well, those batteries, some of them caught on fire and this and that at Tesla and this and that. Okay, well, if this thing is bouncing around off-road and hitting rocks and going over logs and trees and stuff, I mean, isn't there potential for instability in the battery? To me, if that battery gets hit in a certain way, that car could potentially catch on fire. Maybe, I mean, I don't know enough about the engineering. Obviously, you got to leave that to Elon and the team. But that to me is, I think we're going to see an issue there, or maybe they have a super protection of that battery. I think we're going to find more about that in February when the battery day comes out, where it's like Autonomy Day came out, the battery day. So they're going to talk all about the batteries and their acquisitions and what they're doing with the battery technologies. We'll get to that in February. So anyway, the vault, what they're calling it, like a bed, smart. Once again, branding. They're branding right there. Call it a vault, okay? The vault, 7 seconds, it closes. I timed it myself. I was like, wow, that's super fast. 7 seconds, boom, you're closed. You're walking away. You can go wherever you want, not worry about anything. The vault is a genius design, and it's, first of all, it's 6.5 inch, the whole bed, and it's 100 cubic feet locked storage. So, I mean, that's powerful. I don't know of any other truck that's doing something like that. I'm sure there's covers and this and that, but that seemed pretty revolutionary to me, and I think a lot of people are going to love that, with the telescopic steel tailgate ramp. That is huge. I mean, it pops it out, and then you take a piece off, take another piece out. It's telescoping, and then you just lay it down, and you can get up and down with anything you want. That makes it super convenient, and my wife pinpointed on that when she was talking about it. That's a big factor for anybody. So, and don't forget to go check her viewpoint, because then you'll see her viewpoint of all of these features, you know, and it'll really give you that kind of balance of how you think. Because I'm going to be driving this car too. I mean, I'm going to be driving it for business or this and that. I mean, it's going to be her car 90% of the time, but I'm sure I'm going to have fun messing around with this truck too. You know, I don't think it's going to switch me necessarily from getting the Model 3 Performance what I want, or a Model 3 in general, but it's going to be great. You know, having one of each of these cars, that's nothing wrong with that. Okay, anyway, so we got the super sloped windshields, no wipers. Okay, I was kind of joking, but I don't think Elon was thinking that there was any rain on the moon or Mars. Okay, the weather, not so much snow or rain there, I'm supposing. So, and people were talking, why is there no wipers? Well, you know, maybe he's just not thinking that, who knows what he's thinking, honestly. But the FSD does not require windshield wipers also through the rain. I mean, eventually, you know, you're not going to even have to worry about the rain. The car's going to, you're going to hit rain mode. You're going to click rain mode on a button on the screen, and 17-inch screen on this thing, but you hit one button and it'll basically know what to do and it takes over or whatever. Anyway, that's futuristic, but okay. Internal features. Okay, let's get to internal features. Okay, I watched a lot of the test drives, probably like 5 or 6 different ones from all the YouTubers and everything. And space. They were all actually impressed of how much space there was and how it didn't feel cramped. It just felt big. But electric cars have more usable space. So they, you know, designed this for more headroom and legroom and to seat 6 with the flip up middle seat. So that was really clever. So the inside, let's go to a quick picture of that. I mean, you can see the 2 seats, the flip up here. You got 3 in the back. They all have seat belts and everything. So that's part of that. So we'll get to the interior a little bit more. Oh yeah, actually, let's go back. 17-inch widescreen. Okay, the 17-inch widescreen and the 10-inch rear view camera. Okay, the rear view camera is very cool because when they put the vault down or the vault cover down, this is a 10-inch wide. It's about this big going across, and you can see everything behind the vehicle. And it's going to be streaming live. Okay, it's streaming the whole time. So it's not like, I mean, our BMW i3, you back up and then the backup camera comes on. And then when you stop backing up, it just goes off. And that's it. That's the extent of backup camera. But this will be streaming it straight to here. And obviously you got this monster screen and everybody's like, oh, this is granite or this is stone or some sort of marble. This is compressed paper. Okay, crazy. I mean, once again, it's just a great design. They're using compressed paper. Crazy. Okay, once again, it looks like marble and stone, like I said. Okay, here's the problem. All the truck peoples, all the people who know trucks said the yoke flight steering wheel is no good. Okay, you can't, people will get hurt is what they're saying, that it's just not, it's not right for a truck. This was designed, the yoke steering wheel is designed for an aircraft. My dad flew, what do you call it, an F-86 in the Korean conflict, right? And that's maybe the type of steering wheel that he used for that. But it's not, it's a different thing. I think they're going to give options for this. I could expect them to give some sort of options that this may be something that they iterate on. And I mean, I would if I was them. I would scrap that, change it, or maybe give people the option to buy it. You know, that's just make it an option. If they want it, they can get it. If they want a conventional steering wheel, so be it. Like he said, you can just take the steering wheel away anyway, which we will do in the future at some point. So I don't think he's really concerned about a steering wheel. That's not the big issue here. So utility is unbelievable for this truck. I mean, that's what he basically designed it for. Storage is unbelievable. You have the lock storage that we talked about in the vault. You have, we'll go to that because I want to show you the lock storage under the vault. So you have this right here that flips up and it's another storage, so you can store your toolbox or whatever in there. So you have that, and oh my gosh, the storage, you got the front storage, so you got the frunk here that flips up, and that's big storage. You can see how big that is. So that front storage is going to be big. You got the bed storage under the bed, under the back seat, supposedly. That's going to flip up, you're going to have storage under there. They didn't talk about that at all. But we can go to that one. Let me see where that is on the website. It should be on here. Let's go to the interior view. And what I'm thinking is happening, they didn't get to the interior on that one, but that's this back seats basically either flips up or they all individually flip up. I'm not sure how that works, but there's going to be more storage in there. So now we have the front storage, the back under storage, the seat storage. I mean, it's got massive storage. So I don't think anybody's going to complain about the storage on the truck. Let's see. The wing. Oh, what about the wings for storage? Those little wings that basically everybody hates, and that's why the design's freaking out. Those are supposedly flip up, and you got storage there. So your quick, easy access tools right there. You grab your hammer, your screwdriver, stuff like that. So that's what I see there. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, I talked about the under the cabin seats. To me, that's for like pillows, blankets, towel, stuff for the creature comforts for people inside if they're taking a nap in the car, whatever it is. Okay, hauling and towing. I'm not going to get into that, okay? I'm not going to go into detail on that. The guys that know hauling and towing, I'll let them check their own details on that. But bottom line, they either are comparable or better than any other truck as far as what everybody's been talking about for specs and details. But personally, I'm not going to be doing a lot of hauling and towing in general, so that really doesn't play into my mindset at all. I mean, maybe I might tow a vehicle down the road in traveling situations. We may tow our Model 3 potentially. I mean, who knows? I'm not sure, but we'll look into that. We'll jump off that bridge when we get there. Okay, the telescoping steel tailgate ramp. We already talked about the ease of use for that and walking up and down. And what about pets? They can just come up and down and not injure themselves. My wife mentioned that, and she mentioned all about that. That's a huge feature. That's pretty big. The hydraulic adjustable suspension. Okay, they talked about this in detail. You know, and this is auto adjusting, obviously, and you can switch from street mode to off-road on the touchscreen. So this is going to have a lot of value. I don't think there's any other truck that has this. I mean, I know there's trucks that kind of have adjustable suspension, but this is beyond, and they're even using the hydraulics so they can, you know, get compressed air. So that's big. Let's see, utility option packages. To me, you know, all of these aren't like set in stone, but you guys have seen the camping package. We can go to that camping package and take a quick look at it. My wife wants to get it, but we'll see. We got to figure out what the pricing is going to come out to be on that package. But anyway, the camping package, it has a lot of features, extension. It has basically like a tent. It's like a pop tent. Anyway, so that's a package to potentially get. And you've got the off-road ATV package, which you can see the ATV. Everybody saw it drive up into the bed and everything, all electric, but it only comes with the truck, at least right now. So it's kind of going to be special edition. You're going to either buy, it forces you to buy the truck if you really want that ATV. It kind of pushes the sale a little bit more. So it makes it a limited edition. So, you know, I think Elon's getting a little bit, hey, let's make that a collectible, you know? He's like, they're not concerned about production, you know? Construction packs, I made this up. They got to come up with some sort of construction package with all the different, you know, the ropes, anything that you need to basically, you know, lock things down and keep things from shifting around, all kinds of adjustable things for construction. Okay, tailgate party package. I mean, to me, it's like, this is a great tailgating vehicle. So, I mean, because it's not pumping out gas, you can turn all the things, you can power anything you need to do. I think they need to come up with some sort of tailgate type of package. I doubt they will, but that's just an idea. The solar packages, they are going to come up to it, but we will get into those in a minute. And the towing packages as well, like the giant thing that people were talking about. Let's go take a quick peek at that one. That is, where is it? It's pulling it. You'll see it right here on the next one. Let's see, where is it at? It's on here. It's pulling this right here. Are they building that? I don't know. I mean, it looks like it kind of matches, but this looks like a rendering. So it looks like a rendering to me and not the actual thing. So I don't know. I doubt this is going to go into production for a while, even if they are thinking about it. They didn't really talk about it. So anyway, that takes care of that. Now let's go to some specification features. Okay, the battery range for the single motor 250, the dual motor 300, and the tri-motor is 500. That's crazy range. 500 is amazing, but we're just doing the 250 because once again, I don't think we need the range. People that don't know electric cars, you know, don't realize how much range 250 miles is on a single charge. You're not always driving 500, 700 miles without stopping and charging it all. That's super rare. And you probably shouldn't be doing that anyway. But anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. The battery charging speed, I think it's all going to be 250 kilowatts. I think. I'm not 100% on that. Note in the comments if you think that's with all of the different motor. I'm pretty sure that all of that's with those, but I'm not 100% anyway. So the torque is going to be crazy, like 800,000. The torque is unreal. Okay, so power, the drivetrain option, we talked about the single, dual, and the tri-motors. So we signed up for the single. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, if you're like, oh, well, I'll just, you know, I wanted the double, I'm going to switch. Well, if you switch, you're getting back in line. Okay, that's how I read it. I went to the website, I was checking it out, and I was like, let's edit it, and let's add it, and let's go up to the dual motor. And then it had that clause saying, hey, this is going to affect your delivery times and everything, meaning they're bumping you behind the line. So we're going to stick with the single motor. instead of the faster 4.5-second dual motor, which is what I kind of wanted. But you know, whatever, it's going to save 10,000. Maybe we'll switch and put some options. We'll see how it goes there. We don't know yet because we don't even know what's going on, the price of anything. They don't even know. Okay, Tesla doesn't even know. Anyway, let's scroll back down and let's go down to the camping package. I have no idea how much the camping package is going to be. Honestly, I don't really know these, but I did estimate them somewhere. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Speed. Okay, we talked about the speed. Wow, 2.9 seconds. That's ridiculous. Okay, come on. That's faster than most sports cars. I mean, it is. It's crazy. But that's for the tri-motor, 70,000, 69.9 or whatever, 69,000. And then you got the dual motor at 4.5 seconds to 60. And then the single motor was 6.5, which is fine for a truck. Once again, is it really about the speed? I mean, are you buying it for the speed? Yeah, I like speed. But, I mean, that's my wife's car, so, you know, it is what it is. She's not concerned. It's fast enough for her. So, ground clearance. 16-inch, yeah. Most trucks are like 9 to 10. I think the research was, you know, that I've seen is about 9 to 10 normally. So that's pretty crazy. So that's really good. But I think they need that to protect the battery from structural damage. If they bounce it on something or hit the bottom of it on something, is that going to twist the battery pack and potentially crush batteries together? And I mean, that's not going to be good for the battery pack. So to me, I think that's my thing. That's the thing I'm going to find out what they're really doing. They didn't say anything about it, but I'm going to find out about that. Okay, safety features. Wow, the safety features, of course, autopilot's included, which is great. Full self-driving is 7,000 on this, but probably is going to keep going up. It might go up to 8, 9, or even 10,000 by the time they even release this. So that's another reason we kind of jumped on right away instead of waiting for it to be 8 or 9 or 10. It was already 6, so it went from 6 to 7. I don't know if it was at 5 before. It might have been at 5 before. So, but I just remember it going from 6 to 7, and it's probably going to go to 8 and 9. This is a super valuable feature. Everybody's going to want their car to drive by itself, at least at some point when they're tired or whatever. So back to the exoskeleton, is anybody going to die in this vehicle? I mean, think about what it would take for somebody inside of that vehicle to be hurt badly. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative here, but they would have to be hit by like a semi or something to be hurt by that. I can't wait to see the crash test data on this. That's the other thing I'm looking forward to. Let's see the crash test data. This could break the equipment. No, maybe not. But I mean, still, that it's crazy. I mean, if it's hitting this, you'd have to drive it off of a cliff. Okay, and even then you might survive. So to me, I think it's going to be the safest vehicle ever made. There's my prediction on the Cybertruck. The safest vehicle ever made, period. Probably for 5 or 6 years until Tesla wants to make something better. Okay, that's what I think. I could be wrong. So we'll see when they come up with the data. Airbags. They didn't talk about the airbags, but I'm assuming it had airbags all over the place too. So there's another safety feature. Crash testing. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. It's gonna break the equipment. You know. Anyway, cost. That's what shocked everybody. To me, I wasn't shocked when I saw the vehicle because I knew it was gonna be sci-fi Blade Runner. I've seen Blade Runner multiple times, the Harrison Ford one and the other one. And anyway, that's the shock. When I saw 39, I'm like, holy cow! They just competed with themselves. People that were going to buy the Model 3 that want a truck, there is no doubt that they're going to buy the truck instead of the Model 3. Not that the Model 3 is not amazing. It's just the fact that if they need a truck and it's the same price, I mean, how do you beat that? So starting there, and obviously it's not bad, even 49 for the dual motor, which is super fast. To me, that's a deal, and that's why we were thinking about moving up. And we might get back in line and move up to that potentially. We'll see how it goes, or maybe, you know, they may change the way they do things to allow us to switch without losing our position in line. I mean, we'll see how that works. Anyway, so we know that the gas, so the actual cost would be, let's say for us, 39 plus the 7, which is 46,000. Okay, and if you think the cost of gas is 0, we used to spend 2,000 a year. So times 6 years would be 12,000. So take 1/5 of 12,000. Okay. And basically subtract it from that number, and you're going to get a car that's under $30,000. Realistic, true cost of ownership. The TCO, true cost of ownership, that's what it's going to be. That's crazy to get that vehicle for that price if you really think about it. Okay, there's no gas cost. There's just a electric cost. And then we talked about the option. These are my opinion of where they're going to be. Maybe in the camping option, 2 to 5K. That's my estimate. I don't know what they're going to include. The ATV package, 5, 10, or 15. Now, I got this off of Google where I was basically like trying to price it out and figure out. This would be a high-end one. This would be a low-end. This is your mid-end. So to me, the electric's going to be cheaper. So I think it's going to be somewhere from 10 to 7 to 10 range potentially. I see it being that way just because it's electric. I mean, it's small. There's not a whole lot of parts and components. I can see them making that for 7,000, but that's just a guess. We'll guess 7. Construction. Yeah, construction pack, gear, straps, ladder, mounts, etc. Who knows? I mean, they could do that. Once again, I'm just guessing. It's just, hey, Elon, hey, that's a good idea for construction. Give a construction package. Why wouldn't you? I mean, a lot of people use trucks for construction. Solar. So they're going to have 2 options here, I think. The one would be the Vault roof solar, which is going to be attached to the vault cover. Okay, so in that, my estimate on that probably would be about 5 to 10,000 additional. So if you want that solar, that'll give you about 15 miles per day. So meaning you're out in the wilderness, if you have sun, okay, you're going to be able to move that vehicle 15 miles every day, even if it was powered to nothing. So that's almost like a safety feature now that I think about it. I never thought about it that way. Or then you got the Falcon, well, I called it the Falcon Wing Solar, meaning basically they'll wing them out on the side, they'll expand, they'll be pretty big, they'll be like disc circular, and those are going to be pretty expensive. I think Elon was talking about them, and they will give you 40 to 50 miles or something like that per day. That's crazy. That makes it like a self-powered vehicle. I mean, meaning you're off the grid. If you want to get off the grid, there you go. Just buy that truck, full end model with the Falcon Wing Solar, you're off the grid. All right. That's my estimate on that one. Maybe 5 to 10. It might even be 15. Who knows? I mean, that's going to be pretty expensive. The security features, Sentry Mode, number 1. That's another security feature. I mean, even if they could do damage to the vehicle, it's going to be all caught on tape anyway. So I just don't. I guess you're going to see people in Sentry Mode now just banging the truck with hammers and stuff now. I don't know, crazy. Hopefully not. But anyway, the Sentry Mode's there. The bulletproof steel is huge. The armored glass, which obviously that's what everybody's talking about. And I found out, once again, I've done a lot of research on this, and Elon talked about this, and I actually predicted it. I said to my wife, they hit the door when the glass was on it twice. Pretty hard. I mean, pretty hard the second time. And they hit the door pretty hard, and that weakened the glass. But then again, they were like, well, they threw the glass at the back part. Well, that may have weakened the entire side of it. I really don't know about that part, but that's what Elon said about that. And I mean, that just makes the most sense. When they hit the Ford or the other truck door, they didn't have the glass in there, because if they did, that glass would have shattered when they just hit the door with the sledgehammer. Notice when they hit the truck door with the sledgehammer, there was no cracking or breaking of the glass there. So, I mean, but it definitely probably weakened, structural instability after doing multiple damage. And they were throwing the ball, if you look at the videos too, they were throwing that ball at the window and bouncing it off. So they already were testing it and messing around with it before. And I think all of that combined just weakened it, which once again, I think Elon will strengthen that and get that problem kind of solved. And that didn't really bother me. Everybody blowing that up, a good reason to sell the stock short, I guess. But I mean, that's kind of silly. But anyway, the vault locks, so everything basically locks down. So you've got massive security features all over it. Anyway, this is basically, let's go back to the truck. So if you could deal with the design, let's go up to the top. If you can deal with the design of this vehicle, if you like it, obviously you're going to love the specifications. But if you can deal with the look and kind of absorb it and note that it's just, everything doesn't have to be round. Human beings are round. Can you imagine a supermodel with a square face? How weird would that be? Would she be a supermodel anymore? Probably not. But it's just, we're used to looking at round things, more so, I think, than angular things. So, and that's appealing. It's probably built into our DNA. So that is my breakdown, specific breakdown. Don't forget to check my wife's breakdown because you'll love hers. And be sure to subscribe, like, hit the bell notification. We're going to be doing more videos on different things, but we'll keep you posted on the stock. And I hope that shows that I am not, it's just because I'm a Tesla fanboy, doesn't mean I'm not going to sell the stock when the market tells me to. That's me unemotionally making a decision where the computer does it automatically for me. And now we'll see when I can get in and where I buy in. If I buy in higher, hey, I'm fine with that too. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose a $5 or $10 little gain boost? Big deal. Okay, what I'm looking for is buying more shares down at a lower value so I can get 115, 120 shares for the same price. So to me, that's what I do, and I like showing you this. The future is now, and I told you the future is now, and if this truck isn't the future, I don't know what is. Thanks a lot, guys.